Hey everybody, I'm Sarah, Lonesome Glory, and today I'm going to talk about the BreyerFest 2020 releases. A few weeks ago on one of my videos, one of my subscribers, H.A. Harris, hi, thanks for subscribing and commenting, suggested that I do a video going over the BreyerFest releases and talking about them, and I thought that was an excellent idea, so that is what I'm going to do today. Since we're missing out on this bit of Kentucky, I decided that this would be a great time to just sit down, have a glass of bourbon, and talk about what Breyer has shown us that's going to be available for Virtual BreyerFest 2020. Hey everybody, so it's been forever and a day since I first did the recording for this video. And since then, I've started working on it and I decided to kind of change what I was doing. So this is kind of part review of the BreyerFest models and also BreyerFest by the numbers. I've actually gone through and tried to figure out when Breyer used some of these models last and what they were used for, when the last time they were used, that kind of thing. So if you like statistics and you like numbers and you like having that kind of nerdy BreyerFest information, this is the place. So I'm going to break into my original just review video every so often and kind of give you that. I hope you enjoy it. And here we go. The first model this year was the Celebration model. It was released way back in January when we still thought we were all going to Kentucky. And it's called Ballino Castle RM. And it's modeled after the real horse who would be at BreyerFest in Kentucky if we were going. And thankfully he's called Reggie, so that saves some syllables. This model is very pretty. I think they chose really well. It is a really nice shaded bay on the show jumping warm blood mold. So let's get started with our celebration model for this year. It's on the show jumping warm blood mold, which has been used twice in the past for BreyerFest. The first time was in 2011 as a BreyerFest special run. It was used again in 2014 as the BreyerFest volunteer model. Everyone who orders a BreyerFest 3-day ticket will get one of these for every ticket. This is the one that every year I wind up with multiples of because I have to buy 3 tickets, me, my mom, and my aunt. But he's very, very lovely, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing this model in person. I think that they chose very well. Along with him, at the same time, they showed us Dafflin. And I'm not Welsh. I apologize to anyone out there who is, because butchery of names is going to be common in this video. So I'm sorry. In order to prevent that from getting worse, I'm just going to call him the glossy black Esprit because that's what he is. He is the early bird raffle model. Anyone who buys their tickets generally before April 15th, they extended it this year to April 30th, gets put into a raffle for him. By the numbers for our early bird model. Esprit has been used a few times in the past, twice as a BreyerFest special run in 2012 and in 2016 as the surprise model. And then in 2011, it was the celebration model, Pecos. I think the model is very pretty. There are only 3 of them, and there are thousands of people who buy BreyerFest tickets even before the deadline. So I think that it will be interesting to see who wins. So good luck, everyone, if you have a ticket. The Saturday raffle model, which is Order of the Thistle, and is an absolutely stunning champagne. I'm calling it champagne. If y'all have a better real horse term for his color, let me know, but that's what I'm going to go with. A champagne pinto on the Hamilton mold. The mold is beautiful. So I am really excited about this raffle model. I think he's absolutely gorgeous. I am looking forward to seeing him in person. I mean, I hope Breyer at some point gives us more and better pictures, because that's one of the things that I really like to do at BreyerFest is go look at the raffle model and look at the auction models and things like that, actually put eyes on them. So I'm a little disappointed I won't get to do that, but I'm hoping that Breyer will take a video camera and film these things at some point in time for us. Anyway, the other model that they showed us is Fields of Heather, which is a very intricate Appaloosa, a kind of a bay-ish roan Appaloosa. I am not going to even try to define what it looks like, but it's on the new Akaltiki mold. In pictures, it is lovely. I like how the mold looks. I like the pose. There's a lot of action there. I like the pattern, is what I'll tell you. I think the pattern is great. The people who win it are going to be super lucky because it's absolutely beautiful. The other rarity that they have released so far is the Diorama Prize model, and it is a buckskin pinto on the vintage Frisian mold. The Frisian mold has been seen twice before at BreyerFest. The first time in 2005 as the celebration model Fire Magic, and in 2014 as a store special run. They have a tendency to do that now for the Diorama Prize. They pick an older mold and update the paint job, and I think the paint job is stunning. The Frisian mold is not one of my favorites, but I really do like what the paint job does for it. Since we talked about the rarity models that Breyer has already revealed, let's talk about some of the ones that are going to be more available. Specifically, let's look at the store special runs. These are the ones that are available to anybody, no matter what kind of ticket you have, a single day ticket or a 3-day ticket. And they've showed us 3 of those so far that are just store specials, and then one of them that is a pop-up store special. So, the first 2 models that they revealed that are store specials have kind of led to me to dub this the year of the drafter at BreyerFest. Between that and some of the special runs that you get going through the line, there's a lot of draft horses this year. But the first one is Benali, which is a gray roan, blue roan. I'll have to see him in person to see how they painted him. On the new Shire mold, Shenandoah mold. Shenandoah has been used quite often at BreyerFest since its release. It was first used as a special run in 2017, and then in 2018 it was a raffle model. I'm in love with this model. I really want to bring one of them home. I love Shenandoah. First off, that model, when it first came out, I fell head over heels for him. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this horse in person. I also am in love with the second store special that they released. And his name is Gaelic. And maybe it says something about my personality, but I'm not even going to try it. It means clear the way. That is the translation. And thankfully for people like me, they call this horse cheesecake, which I also think is absolutely adorable. So cheesecake it is. This is a cream or cremello pinto on the Gypsy Vanner mold. and I adore that mold.
The Gypsy Vanner mold has been used a number of times at BreyerFest. In 2013, it was a raffle model, and that same year it also appeared as a special run model. It has been used twice as a store special run in 2014 and 2016. It's worth noting, however, that the Gypsy Vanner mold is also the Laredo mold, and some of those uses are on the lighter body type.
When you put everything together to make it the Gypsy Vanner, I think the mold is stunning. It's very stylized. I know it's got its problems. I don't care. There's fluffy horsehair flying everywhere. It has personality. It speaks to me. I adore it. The next one that they showed us, and the last of the regular store specials that we know about, is on the Newsworthy mold, the little jumping horse, and it's the loose mane Newsworthy mold, and it is WH Top Gun. And this horse is an interesting color.
By the numbers, we've seen Newsworthy at 3 prior BreyerFests. First, in 2008, he was a raffle model. Then in 2009, a special run. And in 2014, he was one of the open show prizes.
The first time I saw it, I was a little surprised because they had the model right next to a picture of the horse, and my first thought was it doesn't look anything like him. So I'm not as crazy about it as a portrait model. I think the model itself is pretty. I'm hoping that in person it's not as green as it looks on both my phone and my laptop and my computer. I checked all three in case something's saturation was off. So I'm hoping that Breyer just took a really bad picture, because, you know, I love them, but they've been known to take some really bad pictures in their day. On the other hand, they've been known to paint some green models. I'm looking at you, 1990s version of Roy. So, sorry. It's a pop-up shop. They're calling it Fling this year, and they've released one model. It is the classic decorator. They usually have one. And it is a riff on the Green Man legend. I think that some of it is pretty well executed. It is on the brand new classic drafter mold, which I do really like. And again, the year of the drafter at BreyerFest. But, and as much as I like green, as much as I like the splatter dappling they did, I am very rarely a fan when Breyer puts a decal over it. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm sure a lot of people are really going to like it, and I'm sure that people who are into folklore and into mythology are going to be so into this, and I hope they are. Before I talk about the main special runs, I thought I would talk about the little bitty special runs, which I always love, the single day stablemates. First off, the first one they released was Jersey. Jersey is on, I guess they're calling it the walking thoroughbred mold. Glossy and chestnut and very pretty.
Jersey on the walking thoroughbred mold has only been used once before at BreyerFest. That was just last year when he was part of the Celebration Model Stablemate Miniatures. He was Brass Hat.
The color is stunning. I am all in for this color. I'm not the biggest fan of the mold. I think it's a little narrow, even for a stablemate. I just think he's really skinny. He's just really skinny. I'm not as gung-ho about him as I am about some of them, but I do think that the color is delightful. They also have released Orkney. Again, probably butchering that, but that's okay. And if I'm not mixing up the names, which I really, really hope I'm not, that is the Clydesdale, the G2 Clydesdale Stallion.
The G2 Clydesdale Stallion has been used quite a few times at BreyerFest. It was first used in 1999 as a special run. It has then been used twice as a single-day stablemate prior to this year, in 2005 and in 2012. And in 2009, it was part of the original BreyerFest celebration model miniature set as Graham's Lucky Lad.
It's in a Palomino, and I'm generously calling this a Palomino Pinto. And the reason I say it like that is because their pictures make it look like this is a decorator. I think just about everybody, if you look at that picture, would say that is a gold charm Pinto. That is a decorator. That is metallics. There is not a hint of a regular horse color in there anywhere. So we'll see when that one actually comes out, if it's toned down in person. But I'm going to flat just call it a decorator right now because that's what it looks like to me. I think he's cute. I like the color. I would like to own one, but I do think he's a decorator Pinto. That's where I am with him. After that, they showed us Sky. I love Sky. I think Sky is lovely. I do kind of hum the theme from Outlander every time I look at Sky because of his name. Thanks for that, Breyer. The color is a little odd. To me, it seems like they were going for a charcoal and then decided to kind of swoop into realistic color land. But I love the gloss. That Charleston mold is absolutely adorable as far as I'm concerned. So I like it. I think it's cute. And then they had Aaron. And that, I guess, was the big reveal. They miniaturized the Croy molds, the traditional size Chincoteague pony or whatever you're going to call it, but the Premier Club Croy mold, they miniaturized it. And that's cool. I think it's really cool that they can miniaturize the traditionals, but it's not my thing. So somebody else can enjoy those. And I bet that there are a ton of people who jumped for joy when that one was released, which that is awesome. Good for you guys. The special runs, the tent special runs, the ticket models, however you want to define those, whatever you want to call them, they are the models that you must have a 3-day ticket to buy. You are only able to buy 2 per ticket, and you buy them by going through a line in numerical order after a specific number has been called to start the line. There are always 8 of them, at least for the last many years. There are 8 of them. And this year, Breyer threw us for a loop. There are 9. There are 9 special tent models. So the first one is Eponia. Again, please forgive my pronunciation. I'm not my thing. This is the Gray Pinto strapless.
By the Numbers, strapless is one of the models that turns up most often at BreyerFest. In 2005, she was a show prize. In 2007, the volunteer model. 2009, a raffle model. 2012, a special run. And in 2015, a store special.
In a normal year, this might be one that I am really into. She's dropped down the list fast as they started introducing drafters. So her color is very nice. It looks like it's going to be pretty shaded. The Pinto pattern I really like. It's a nice horse. I think that it'll be popular. I don't think it'll be insanely popular. The next one I have on here is Boadicea, and I'm done with pronouncing that name. This is the decorator.
Although a new mold, the Andalusian mare has been a special run at BreyerFest twice. The first time in 2015, when she was a prize for the Best Customs contest, and then again in 2016, when she was a special run model.
And I love the mold they put it on. That warm blood mold is lovely. I don't like what they did to her. Honestly, the first thing that came to mind when I saw her was Braveheart. Like Mel Gibson's face with the blue smeared all over it. And I don't think that was the look they were going for. So not my thing, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to be after her because of the mold. So we'll see. A lot of times the decorators that I don't like are the ones that go absolutely insanely crazy and sell out really fast. So maybe use that as a marker for popularity. After that, I have on my list Hamish, the bull. I'm a fan of the cows. I think they're cute. This one is a very pretty pattern on a mold that we don't see very often. I'm looking forward to it. Next up, we have Ash, who is a really light gray, just shaded light gray on the Othello mold, the Winter Song mold, and He Must Come Home With Me. I love him.
Winter Song is another frequent flyer at BreyerFest, as he has appeared twice as a volunteer model, twice as a special run, and once as the celebration model Mariah's Boone in 2012. He was the volunteer model in 2001 and 2018, and a special run in 2003 and 2008. The early years, Othello was a porcelain model.
I think this one is not one of the more stunning Othellos they've made. He's a little bland, actually. He's not super shaded, at least not in their pictures. He's very light, very pale, but he's glossy, he's Othello, and I will try and own one. So that's where I am with him. Next up is Oak, and that is on the new George mold from the Premier Club. It's kind of an old style Appaloosa. So I would like him to come home with me as well. Space saving is apparently not my thing this year because I'll have so many drafters on the new shelf. So next up are the models sold together, Bridget and Beltane.
The Welsh ponies made their BreyerFest debuts last year as raffle models.
The pattern is wrong, the color is right, but to me they look like an updated Misty of Chincoteague and Stormy. I'm hopefully going to buy these with the tickets that I have. They're just so stinking cute, and anything that kind of looks like Misty and Stormy, I would like to own. The next two are the vintage molds that Breyer included this year. The first one is Thorn, and that is on the older Tricaner mold. And he's a really nicely shaded bay Appaloosa. And from the pictures, he looks like he might be glossy. My guess would be that this one or the other vintage or both are the 50-50 glossy splits. And Lou the Sham.
Sham has the distinction this year of being the mold reused from the oldest BreyerFest. He was first used in 1991 as a raffle model, then again in 1996 as the celebration model Seminole Wind. He was last used in 2008 as a special run model.
I do think the Sham is really pretty. I think the mold is striking because of how stylized it is. It's very much, when you picture an Arabian horse, you kind of picture that. You picture that face and the tail and the stance. The conformational correctness you don't worry about too much. The only one I haven't talked about is the surprise model. They have showed us the logo. They've showed us, what it's going to, the logo of what it's going to be and what it's going to be called. My initial guess was that it was going to be Croy. And I think with the little mini single day, that my guess is gone. So I'm going to have to rethink. And that's why I don't want to go too far into conspiracy this early. First up are the two special prizes for the Best Customs contest. The first one is called Cornwall. It is a black leopard Appaloosa on the Latigo mold.
The Latigo mold has been used twice before as a special run at BreyerFest. The first time in 2014, and then again in 2017 as the surprise model.
I'm pretty excited about this. It is a beautiful horse. The pattern is the same as they used for the original Latigo, which is par for what Breyer does for the Best Customs. It's just stunning. I really hope that at least someday I'll get to see one in person. Next is the prize for the finalists for the Best Customs contest. That is, I believe it's called Breton. If you've watched this far, you know that I can't pronounce anything. Sorry. It's on the Stablemate Lip is Honor mold. It is also a redo of the original release on that mold in a black pinto this time.
The Stablemate Lip is Honor has only been used once before at BreyerFest as last year's single day stablemate.
And he's adorable. I honestly think he might even look better in black than he did in his original color. After that, Breyer showed us the Crystal Horse, which I was really excited about this year because it is Bouncer.
We've only seen Bouncer twice before at BreyerFest. The first time was in 2008 when he was the Diorama Prize, and then again in 2011 when he was the Open Show Prize.
Bouncer, the crystal horse. They've been doing crystals for a while. I think they're great. I think they're very elegant and very pretty. And this is a mold that I adore. So I'm very excited to see Bouncer. Next up is the stablemate for the pop-up shop, or what would have been the pop-up shop. It is another decorator. It is also green. It is called Erie, and sorry, if you really want good pronunciation, I'm not the channel for you, I guess. But it is on the Irish draft mold. I really think that this one's cute. I like the color, and I look forward to seeing this one in person. And then Breyer dropped the stablemate bomb on all of us with the stablemate collection, which was 5 different models painted to resemble raffle models of the past.
The stablemate collection has 5 separate molds, all of which have been previously used for BreyerFest. The rivet mold has been used twice before as a single day stablemate in 2013 and 2016. The G2 warm blood mold has been used 4 separate times at BreyerFest, 3 times as a special run in 2002, 2000, and in 2009 as part of the Celebration model set where he portrayed Molokai. He was also a 2017 single day model. Django was used as a special run in 2017. The G2 Thoroughbred mold has been used 3 prior times, in 2017 as a single day model, in 2003 as a special run, and in 2009 as part of the Celebration model miniature set as Roxy. Finally, the Walking Arab has been used 3 prior times at BreyerFest. In 2014 as a single day model, In 2009, as part of the Celebration Model Miniature Set as Atlantis Baby, and in 2005 as a special run. The 2005 set, it was part of a unicorn porcelain and came with a base and a foal.
I don't know anyone who's not excited about this, honestly, but it is so cute. I really hope that they continue this trend of making mini-me's, but I can't wait to get my hands on one of these sets because the colors that they make for the raffle models are usually phenomenal, and to get them in miniature form is fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to this. I hope that this is the start of a series, which the picture that they've given us kind of indicates, as opposed to just a one-off. Hopefully you've enjoyed listening to me kind of ramble a little bit about them, and that this has been kind of fun. I've hopefully also been showing you pictures of them and have not completely screwed up the technological aspects of this. Regardless, if you have other ideas for videos, either BreyerFest related or just model horse related, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more, and it's been great chatting with you for a little while. Otherwise, stay home, stay safe, and cheers.